Phosphor fans, welcome back. Earl at logbook.com here with a game that never really sat too well with me in the arcade when I was a little kid because there were just too many buttons to keep track of, which, from the perspective of the 21st century, where it seems like there are never enough buttons, it's kind of laughable now. But at the time, this game totally stymied me. We are talking about Exidy's 1981 game, Mousetrap. The Mousetrap was reasonably popular enough that it merited a song on Buckner and Garcia's Pac-Man Fever LP, which is actually it's actually one of the catchier numbers on there. As you can see, you are a mouse in this game. You are being pursued by cats. There are some parallels to Pac-Man here, as well as, I think, to Ladybug by Universal. You have 3 color-coded controls to change the position of doors in the maze. You have blue doors, yellow doors, and red doors. You have a control for each of those, as well as another button that if you have eaten one of the bones placed in the maze, turns you into a dog who can eat the cats. Don't worry, cats, this does not happen in real life. They're all jumping out the window. A fairly complicated game, although one that is obviously kind of treading into Pac-Man territory again, very much like Make Tracks. Although what I find interesting is that Mousetrap was popular enough to get a song released about it. It was much easier for me to find a Make Tracks machine back in the day than it was to find a Mousetrap machine. So we have our yellow doors, you have your blue doors, you have your red doors. Now, you start out with, basically you've already eaten a bone. The in symbol at the center of the screen serves 2 purposes. It kind of, oh, my bone wore off. That's what she said. The in symbol at the center of the screen, well, that was not a good move. I'm still not good at this. Apologies ahead of time. When you go through the inn, obviously it teleports you to a random part of the maze, which can be a very useful thing, or it can be a very dangerous one. It also disorients the purple hawk that you occasionally see flying overhead. If the hawk catches your mouse, of course it does what hawks do. It carries your mouse off and eats it. Game over. It really just costs you a life, but in this case that was my last life. See if I can, having explained the game while tripping all over myself, let me see if I can shut up for a moment and play a halfway competent game of Mousetrap for you. So you kind of get the feel for what the game is about. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Insert double entendre here. Okay. That cat legitimately came out of nowhere. I'm going to go back and look at the replay on that when I'm editing this. That cat came out of nowhere. But I'll get him. And his little friend, too. Okay, I think it's safe to say I really kind of stink at Mousetrap, but I mean, I haven't even made it onto the high score table that is present when you boot the machine up fresh. That's pretty bad. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I'm sure my cats are laughing at my lamentable lack of skill when it comes to being a cat. We'll see what happens the next time a mouse gets loose in this house. Okay, acquitted myself nicely there on the cat-eating front, which is not a phrase I deploy very often. Ah! I was trying to get in there and get that piece of cheese. It was my downfall. Enter in to make Hawk stupid. I was hoping that was a legit hiding place. It was not, and the game is over. So there you have it, Exidy's Mousetrap. One of a nice little string of early 80s Exidy games that were, you know, may have had things in common with other games that were out at the time and extremely popular. Obviously, I think this one is trying to get some of Pac-Man's market share. Which it would hardly be the only game that you could accuse of doing that. But it certainly adds a level of difficulty with the color-coded doors, the hawk, and literally everything else that still keeps me from playing it very effectively. Thank you for watching.